Hi, good evening. My name is Karthik Malapati. Uh, Today I'm discussing about the CO2 emissions that links from vehicles. So my topic is analysis of vehicle specializations and CO2 emissions. Why I choose this topic is because the automotive industry is a significant contributor to global carbon emissions. And understanding vehicle fuel efficiency and emissions is crucial for developing strategies to reduce environmental impact. By analyzing a comprehensive dataset of various vehicle models, including their vehicle consumptions and CO2 emissions, we can identify trends, compare performance across different makes and models, and provide insights into more suitable vehicle choices. This research is essential for policymakers, environmental agencies, and consumers who are interested in making informed decisions that align with environmental goals. So this data is a combination of numerical and categorical data. Numerical data includes columns like engine size, cylinders, fuel consumption in miles per gallon and liters per 100 kilometers, and CO2 emissions. Categorical data includes columns like make, model, vehicle class, transmission, fuel type. So here I want to communicate with the audience by my visualizations is to communicate the fuel efficiency and CO2 emission of different vehicle models and their makes, allowing the audience to easily compare and identify patterns or outliers in vehicle performance and environmental impact. My end users are like to be customers looking for fuel efficient vehicles in the automotive industry, analysts monitoring market trends, and policymakers interested in vehicle emission for regulatory purpose. When we come to like the relation behind selection of vehicle emission CO2 Excel file for my visualizations, the main thing is for environmental impact, consumer decision making, regulatory complaints, and automotive industry trends. First one, when it comes to environmental impact, with the increasing global concerns about like climatic changes and vehicle emissions is crucial in this part. This data helps in analyzing the CO2 emissions of various vehicles which directly impact air quality and global warming. The second one, consumer decision making. So consumers are becoming more environmentally conscious. The data has its potential. Car buyer is making informed decisions by comparing the fuel efficiency and emission levels of different vehicle models. Third one, regulatory compliance. Governments and regulatory bodies which such data to set and enforce like emission standards. Analyzing this data can provide insights into which vehicle meets these standards and which do not meet. The final one, automotive industry trends. For industry analysts and manufacturers in automotive sector, this data is essential for tracking trends in vehicle design and performance, helping them to drive innovations in more fuel efficient and low emission technologies. So by analyzing this data, one actionable insights that contributes to reducing environmental impact, guiding consumer choices, complying with regulations, etc. So the study objective for this vehicle emissions data, the first one is evaluating fuel efficiency. So the fuel consumption patterns in both liter for 100 kilometers and miles per gallon across different vehicles, classes and models to identify the most fuel efficient vehicles. So the second one comes like assessing environmental impact. quantity the CO2 emission of each vehicle model to understand their environmental impact and identify which vehicles are more environmental friendly to use. The third one, comparative analysis. When we compare the fuel consumption and CO2 emissions between different manufacturers with the different vehicle types, so like we can say mid-size SUVs, like that, to highlight the differences between their trends. So the consumer guidance, before I say it, like we can provide insights that can help consumers make informed based decisions on fuel efficiency and emission levels, promoting the selection of greener vehicles. So another one, regulatory insights. So where like we can offer the data that can aid policymakers in understanding current vehicles emissions, which is essential for setting and updating emission standards and regulations. So the market trend, analyzing trends in vehicle design and performance related to vehicle consumption and emission provided valuable information for automotive industry stakeholders. So the research outcomes for the vehicle emission data is the first one, fuel efficiency ranking. So here we can identify the ranking of vehicle models based on their fuel efficiency in both urban and highway sectors. The data will highlight which models consumes less fuel and provide higher mileages per gallon. So the second one, CO2 emission level. So the comparison of CO2 emissions for each vehicle model, allowing for the identification of low emission vehicles and more emission vehicles that are more environmental friendly. So the third one, manufacturer comparison, insights into which manufacturers produce the most fuel efficient and low emission vehicles, offering a comparative analysis across brands like Acura, Audi, Aston, Bentley, BMW. So the vehicle class performance, like analyzing the fuel consumption and CO2 emissions across different vehicle classes. Before I said like mid-size SUVs and sedans, leaving which classes are generally more efficient and eco-friendly. So the next one, like fuel type impact, evaluation of the impact of like different fuel types, gasoline, diesel, hybrid, on which consumption and emissions, highlighting the benefits and drawbacks of each type. So the transmission fluence is nothing but like understanding how different transmissions are like manual and automatic vehicles and semi-automatic. So the trend analysis is like identifying the market trends regarding fuel consumption and emissions, offering insights into the direction of automotive design and engineering. So the policy recommendation is nothing but the data-driven recommendations for policymakers to consider when setting further emission standards and regulations based on observed performance of different vehicles and technologies. So the consumer guidance is nothing but the consumers which actionable insights to help them choose which vehicles they does not cost effective but also environmental responsible. So these are the things we can do with the customers. So where I choose my data is in Kaggle. My primary data source is Kaggle. It's like well-known online platform. You can find many of the data sets like it will give a lot of information various each and every domain. So my secondary data, which I just selected with the one website, so I'm just making it for my references and everything. So that is called greenvehicleguide.gov, where I found some little bit more information of CO2 emissions and the regulations. So when it comes to data acquisitions and preparations, so we need to clean the data and data updating and organizing. So here this is my data. Like, it has some columns and models. The first column shows you the make, like the manufacturing, and the second column, model shows like which model it belongs to, and the column C, it shows like vehicle class like compact, SUV, mid-size, mini, like these kind of things. And the fourth column, it shows engine size, like 2.4 liter, 2 liter, 1.5, 3.7, 5.9. And the next one is the engine cylinders. It's 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder or 12-cylinder. The next one is transmission, like which kind of transmission that the model and make belongs to. And the fuel type, it's gasoline or something. The next one here is the main part, like fuel consumption in the city, and another one is fuel consumption in the highway, and another one is fuel consumption both the city and highway combination. And here it goes to fuel consumption combination in miles per gallon. Here we need to see that it's in liter per 100 kilometers and it's mile per gallon. And here CO2 emissions, it's gram per kilometer. So how much grams it's releasing, like CO2. This is my data. So in this data, I found 1394 duplicate values that I removed. So by using by selecting all the data, and I went through data. So here we can see remove duplicate cells. So here we can delete. Previously I did the delete, so nothing to show. Thank you. I'll see you with my next analysis on next week. Thank you so much.